Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. It's Mary Jane. Let's talk about Hustle in Brooklyn, season 1, episode 8. It gets going down. Next episode is gonna be crazy. We're gonna have Azia and Danny fighting, and then we're gonna have Danny being confronted by Darnell with his fiance and the baby there, and it's gonna go ham. I'm like, OMG, next episode is gonna be lit. But let me tell you this, Santos coming up with that app, that sounds great. I'm really proud of him. Congratulations, Santos. I hope everything works out well, because it sounds like a wonderful app. It sounds like a great investment. It sounds like a great invention. Like, you go. And then seeing Neo and Santos together, and Neo knew Santos since he was 16 years old, and Neo still got his foot, with the regular folks, because he's an A-lister. Neo is an A-lister. And just seeing him there supporting Santos, Santos got pulled. He got support. So that was also awesome and wonderful to see too as well. And then we see Jesse get the story mixed up, unless Alicia said something that wasn't on camera, or it was edited out, because I didn't hear her say that Ivy be staring and looking at other men. I did not hear her say that at all, point blank, period. And then, at the beginning of the episode, we have, Asia basically saying that Eva didn't say anything really negative about Danny, when I clearly heard that it was negative. I guess she didn't want to get Danny going because they was at the festival. They looked very good in the festival, like the parade that they were doing. They looked really nice. The girls had it snatched. They all looked good together. Danny, Asia, and Alicia look great together. And we see that Jesse and Ivy break up over some he said, she said, and then it seems like Ivy didn't want it, and it seemed like Jesse didn't want it, but Jesse said he's so emotional. It's like Jesse just be giving me like he has too many female characteristics, and that's probably because he probably grew up with a lot of women, but it just seems like he just run off of emotions a lot of the time. Like, I don't know, he just seems like he needs something stable. And then we have Darnell. He's in a church crying, begging the Lord to help him, his cheating ways and his wayward penis, and out here sticking it and moving, and basically trying to make him a faithful man. Fix him, Jesus. Fix him, Lord. So we get together, and so basically it's Alicia, and Alicia is talking to Azia basically about, want to work with Azia basically. And she was telling Santos that too as well, because, Azia is going to be a star. Of course she is. She has star power, star potential, everything. She has it going on, and she seems like a really good person too as well. And so then we have Danny. She shows up, and then basically the conversation goes towards Eva and her comments, and Alicia saying that was Eva real with you. And so it seems like Asia just curved that conversation just to make it seem like she didn't say that much. She said, you just need to fix this, you need to fix that, but point blank, period, something like that. So we'll see how that goes. And we got Eva and Baggy Lodge. They're running, basically in the park, getting some exercise. And then we get Baggy. He got to always run his mouth. But it's good that he did tell Eva that, Danny asked him out or whatever, and let her know. And basically he didn't say no or yes. He don't know what he's going to do about the situation. And Eva was like, you ain't my man. I don't own you. I can't tell you what to do. But if he went out with Danny, you would have been hurt. You would have been hurt because, he was your second go-to, because after your manager became a freakazoid, you was just like, you know what? Baggy Lodge is cool. We friends. And I know you feeling him, and you getting to know him too as well. Even though you're trying to act like you don't like him, he clearly likes you. He clearly wants to be with you. And we have that situation. That we also have Eva talking about, what went down at Baggy Lodge party, and basically talking about Alicia trying to get her amped up, trying to get a rise out of her. And she was like, these girls don't know who they playing with. Yes, Eva does have anger issues, and she has a lot of things that she has to deal with. So therefore that fight with Eva is going to be crazy. She's Jamaican too. Jamaican and Haitian fighting together. Please don't fight, Lord. Please don't fight. So we have that situation. She was like, I just let it slide off. I didn't let it, get to me or whatever. But basically these girls keep pushing me. I don't know what they want or whatever. And so basically she's going to try her best to, keep it in, hold it in or whatever. And she talks about the situation with Alicia lying to, Danny. She feels like Alicia lied to Danny about how she expressed how she felt about Danny's performance on stage. She was very negative about the performance to Azia, which is Danny's closest friend, and then Azia ended up telling Alicia, and then Alicia got in the mix of it and was trying to get Danny going. Like, would you real with Danny? Did you tell her what you really said? I was like, oh no. And so we have that situation. Then we have Ivy and Asia. They talk basically, Asia, she goes to see what's up with Ivy at her job basically, and then they talk about the little argument that Ivy had with Danny and how that situation went down, and basically she feels like Jesse should be there more and he should respect. Eva felt like, that, Danny is mad disrespectful. She's rude, she's causing chaos, and she's not the type of person that she wants to be around. She don't like that energy. And basically Asia is saying, look, well, listen, your fault, or your being upset with somebody, being mad with somebody, you should be throwing that at, Jesse, because Jesse's the one that you should be mad at, because he's the one that disrespecting you. So it's not a Ivy and Danny type of situation. And so that's when Ivy was like, well, I did talk to him and he did get it too as well. And Blase in the third, I did get into his ass. And she did get into his ass because she wanted him to show more respect towards her, or basically, tell Danny to move. But Danny was clearly doing that to get a reaction out of her. And plus, her and Danny ain't friends. They ain't cool. So Danny's not going to walk up to, Alicia, walk up to Ivy and say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Because they clearly got into an argument before, at the studio when they was doing a live band or whatever. So they ain't cool or whatever with that situation. And it seems like, Ivy is letting Danny get under her skin because, she's kind of insecure and kind of jealous too as well. Because if anything, Ivy should have just got right under her man's arm, kissed his cheek, wrapped her mouth around him and her arms, and was like, what was you doing, baby? You was busy, right? That's why you didn't show up. And just kept it like that, kept it moving, or just ignored, Danny, because Danny was just there. Danny was doing what Danny does. Danny got the alcohol in the system and she's moving around. And plus, her and Ivy don't get along, so she ain't gonna show her no respect or anything like that. So we have that situation. And so Ivy, she feels like that Jesse's not, respecting her. He's disrespecting her, and he won't put Danny in her place. But Jesse doesn't know how to put a woman in his place, but he did tonight. He put Danny in her place and yelled and screamed at her when she was messing up his event. You know what I'm saying? And he should have a conversation with Danny and say, hey, Danny, the way that you move and things like that is causing an issue. But Danny also said that, Jesse be hitting her up, talking about, I want to manage you, I want to brand you, I want to do this with you, I want to do that with you. But then when you're around your girlfriend, you don't want to speak to her. So she's feeling like you fugazi. So that's why she's doing the extra. Just be real about it. Just tell, Ivy that I'm trying to work with her too as well. And tell Danny like, yo, you and my girlfriend don't get along. So just be respectful so we can do business moves. Stop trying to do shit in the dark and undercover, because then it comes out on camera. Then it looks confused and it looks like one person's being messy, but they're not, because you calling them and saying, hey, what's up? How you doing? I want to be your partner. I want to work with you. I want to manage you and all this other stuff. So we got that situation. And basically, Ivy asks, Asia, like, what's going on? Like, why are you so close to her? Why are you so cool with her? Why are you her friend? Like, why are you around that energy? Like, you too good for that, basically. And then that's when Asia was like, she's Haitian like me. We Haitian. We stick together. I don't choose to look at the bad shit at her. I choose to look at the good things. And we Haitian. We sisters. Like, we ain't gonna let nothing come between now. We don't agree upon everything. You know what I mean? I don't agree up on everything that she does, everything that she do, but I choose to look at the good stuff. So that tells you that Asia, it looks beyond, the wreck that it looks like Danny is, because you got Danny on the show in the middle of the day drinking beer and shit, just drinking beer, just like if it's water. So we have that situation. Then we have Santos and Darnell. They meet up at the barbershop, and that's when Santos let Darnell know that the app is coming out. It's going to be major. It's going to be big. They're going to have a big party for it, a release party and all of the other good stuff. And then that's when Darnell lets, Santos know, like, hey, yo, what's up with that movie? Jesse's kind of upset with you because you was whispering and, Ivy's ear, and then you kissed her on the forehead. Like, yo, that's straight up violation. If that was me, I would have went in. And then, Darnell was like, I had it in, me and him had an issue. Me and Jesse had an issue when it came to Danny, and I was so mad. I was so upset, And so also, Darnell also speaks about, he's still sleeping in the studio. His fiance Raquel doesn't want him home right now. Of course not, because when she asked you to pick and choose, she asked you to choose between her and Danny, and you didn't choose. So it made it seem like Danny's more important to you than her and her family. Even though, Darnell, you wanted to do business and see she was going to be great and you want to make some profit off of it, but profit comes before your family, especially when the situation is messy where you were sleeping with this woman for a couple of years. So miss me with that bullshit. So you should stay in that studio and stay on that couch and stay sleeping there. So we have that situation. And also Darnell was like, yo, you really violated. So I was like, oh no. Like that was like, he was like, yo, you violated. And Santos is just looking like he don't even, like, he has no clue what he did or whatever. Even though Santos and Ivy supposed to have been friends for many, many years and they're like brother and sister, but still Santos should have some type of awareness that, like, yo, if a woman's out and you ain't blood related, you know what I mean? Or you grew up in the same house together, and all this other good stuff, and your mama and my mama are always together and shit like that, you should just, back up, give the man some respect, and not kiss his girl and whisper in his ear, because we find out later on in the episode that, Jesse also told, Ivy, hey, listen, I don't want, Santos whispering in your ear and having these private conversations with you. It makes me feel a certain type of way. So Jesse was already telling Ivy how he felt about her moves with, Santos, even though it's friendly, but he thinks it's disrespect and he don't like it. And, Jesse's a little jealous too, because he was getting jealous about Baggy Large too as well when he was getting close to Ivy. And so, Jesse had something to say about, Ivy's behavior. And so Ivy wants him to jump up and do all this, but he's telling her how he feels about a situation and she's totally ignoring it. And it's like he's totally ignoring what she's saying, but you can't control Danny. And it seems like when Santo kissed Ivy on the cheek and whisper in her ear, it's not like, Ivy could have just pushed him away and moved back, you know what I mean? Because that would look real weird and awkward and shit, you know what I mean? Especially if she'd known him for a long time. And she said she didn't even remember him kissing her on the cheek. But she also could have let that happen too as well, to make Jesse jealous, because he didn't do anything about, the way Danny was behaving or being like, I don't care, that sounds like a personal problem. I don't want to get into your relationship. I just want to know where you was, Jesse. So Ivy could have let that slide like that, because, she was kind of pissed at, Jesse. So we have that situation, and, I'm just like, damn. And so then moving on from that, we have, Alicia ends up meeting up with, Jesse. They end up having a conversation, and basically, Alicia asks, Jesse, what's going on? Like, what's going on with you and your relationship with Ivy? Because, everybody knows there's some turmoil going on. And basically he goes, I don't know, like, y'all, I'm really pissed off because, Santos was whispering in her ear and he kissed her on the forehead, and I told her not to have him whisper in her ear and stuff like that. Oh no, he didn't tell her that. He told, Ivy that. And so that's when Alicia got in and was like, yeah, like, if I was with my man wouldn't let me do anything like that. He wouldn't let nobody kiss me, hug me, grab me, put the arm around my waist and stuff like that, because he would be very upset. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, everything to me is black and white. Like, you don't do that, in public. You know what I'm saying? She was feeling like, maybe she didn't say it, but it seemed like she was feeling like, yo, whatever way you feel, Jesse, and then believe nothing that you hear and everything of what you see. So basically, I say it a different way. I say, believe nothing of what you hear and a little of what you see. And they say, believe half of what you hear and all that you see. So we have different sayings, but, mine is different, theirs is different, or whatever. But she never said that, Ivy be out here looking at everybody unless that was off camera, that was edited out. But because we did have, Eva and Ivy actually meet up after that. And so, Eva was actually saying that Alicia watches everybody like she's a people watcher. So basically, maybe it is true that she said it, but it didn't come off on camera. So Alicia be liking to people watch and see what people doing and what's going on. She likes to know what's going on around her. So we have, that situation. And then I was just like, damn. So then we have Darnell. He's at church. He's crying. He's asking for help. He's talking to the pastor basically about his relationship. He said he wasn't ready to be married, because he's out here in these streets. He's wayward. He's out here doing what men do and all this other stuff. So he admitted that he's not ready to have that total commitment. He's not ready to be faithful to be with one person. But I believe his family and his religion is going to probably guide him that way to be with his wife and his fiance and his child, even though half of his feet is at home and the other half of his feet is out in the street. So it's going to probably take him a while to get it together. And Raquel has been a very patient woman, but she did kick him out the house allegedly. So we have that situation, and he's also going to get his son Christian, and that's going to be good. That's a good event that his son gets Christian and or get baptized or whatever, or they'd have the godfather and godmother ceremony, and Santos there, and they're really congratulating each other and happy, and like they really bros. So we have that situation. Then we have Azia, Santos, and Azia's father. They actually meet up in the studio. They listen to the new track. And also congratulations to Azia's father making a #1 hit with Christina Aguilera. That's a good one. And so the father said, I'm gonna be the OG. I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I like it. It's fire. I'm feeling it. So it's all good. So that's cool. And then we have the situation with Jesse and Ivy meet up, and basically Jesse is telling Ivy how he feels, like he feels disrespected by having, Santos kiss her, whisper in her ear, and he doesn't like it. He feels like, she's disrespectful. She doesn't care about what he thinks or how he feels. And all the situation with, with Danny, her acting up and getting upset and blowing everything out of proportion. And he just feels like, he just feels slighted and he feels shaded in a way. He doesn't really feel like, Ivy cares. And then Ivy was like, well, first of all, I don't even want to really be in a relationship. I was like, you are lying, Ivy, because when you was in that carriage ride with Jesse, you said, I want this to be a one-on-one relationship. I want this to be exclusive until you got that relationship. So now you with him, and you was like, you know what, I didn't really. And then Ivy said, I didn't know if I didn't really care if I was in a relationship, and I don't really care if I'm not in one. And then Jesse was like, oh, I could tell, because that's the way you carried yourself in a relationship. And he was like, and also Jesse was like, it's not about how we feel together. It's not about we. It's about how you feel and what's going on with you. You don't look at us as a unit. And that was a big point, where it's about how you feel about Danny, but not how we feel about Danny. And the relationship that we have at home is A1. But when Danny comes around, it's like you forget that. You just think about your feelings. And so she walks away. She's upset. And he was like, basically, it's over. He broke up with her and he left her standing. And she's upset and she's mad about it. And she goes to see, Eva, and basically, she just tells her what happened. We broke up. She started crying. She was like, I said this to him and I said that to him. I didn't really mean it like that or whatever. But then he's listening to what Alicia says, and Alicia told him that I'd be looking, I'd be staring, I'd be having all my attention on other men and his associates and all this other stuff. I think Jesse felt that way. That's the way he said it to her when he met her up in the park, that she'd be paying attention to everybody else. But he said, Alicia said, I think he feels that way because so two insecure people can't be in a relationship together, especially if Jesse's not the one to step up to say, hey, listen, you're doing something wrong. I think Jesse kind of liked that little tension between Danny and Ivy, seeing women get mad or whatever. But when he wanted to put Danny in her place, he did put her in her place, but he could have, because she was messing up his event, point blank, period. Or maybe he was just upset with her because now he broke up with Ivy, and basically he felt like he did it off of emotion. And so that's when Eva and Ivy are still at the dinner table. They're still talking, and then Eva was like, these girls are getting on my nerves. They want to see another side of me that they ain't gonna like. And he was like, Alicia's trying to start junk with me, and she's trying to get Danny at me. I don't know why these girls don't like me. I don't know what the problem is or whatever. So basically, I just think, Eva needs to learn how to communicate better. When she was talking about Danny, she should have told Danny straight up to her face about how she felt or whatever, and been real with her like that point. And then she shouldn't have said anything to Asia about Danny, because Danny and Asia are close friends, and she should know that anything that she said to Asia was going to go back to Danny, and she should have been mindful of that and say, hey, that they're friends, so let me just say this, and I'll say something light to Azia, and then I'll tell Danny how I really feel. Or she didn't have to say anything to Danny at all, but she did tell Darnell that she did not like, Danny's performance, and somebody should have took the mic from her. So it's gonna get back to Danny one way or another. So that's the situation with that. I was just like, damn, they're going in. I was just like, shit. And Eva looked like she can fight, and Danny and and Asia's supposed to get into a fight next episode, but they really both couldn't ball up their fingernails because they got long nails, and they'll end up cutting their hand and they try to ball up their hands. So that's why they were slapping, to me, in my opinion. So we have that situation, and that's when Eva was like, all Alicia does is people watch. I don't know, it's so weird. She's always people watching. Her energy is so bad or whatever. So we have that situation. And then well, it was funny when Jesse said to Ivy, "You tripping." Ivy said to Jesse, "You tripping," and then Jeffrey said, "Yeah, I'm a trip right out of here." And he was cold blooded about that, like he didn't even care. But then now he feels a certain type of way, so it's crazy. So we have what's his name? Jesse meets up with, Alicia, and they end up having a conversation. Basically, he felt like he was too emotional. He overreacted. Maybe he feeling a certain type of way. He feels like he wants her back. And so that's when Alicia was like, do you want her back? She was like, don't go off of my opinion on what I say. You do what you need to do. I don't look back. But if that's what you feel like you need to do, then do what you need to do. And he was feeling a certain type of way. So now it feels like he's turning his back on Alicia. It feels like he's going to be negative towards Alicia now, when all she was trying to do was be a friend to him. But you can also think that Alicia does not like, Ivy or Eva, because the way they did her when she was actually working with Baggy Large, and how that whole situation fell, where Ivy didn't want to, work with Baggy Large, and then Baggy Large went and ran his mouth to, Eva and Ivy, and basically they got into it at that party that was on top of the roof party or whatever. And then Baggy Large said, well, Alicia said that you was a glorified secretary. I can picture Alicia saying that straight up and down. So I think now he's looking at what Alicia said and how she was saying it, that maybe she was trying to break us up. Maybe she was trying to break him and Ivy up, but he should be able to think on his own, because he's a grown man. He has a brand, he has a business, and all this other stuff, and he works with people. And he can't let his emotions, he needs to think about it. And what he said was, I didn't have time to let everything serenade or think about things. So basically, so now instead of, he's blaming himself too as well, but now he's going to confront, Alicia, and he's going to confront Danny at, Azia's party, at Azia's listening party. So he's going to go ham. I was like, damn, they're really acting the hell up. Like, what is really going on? So we got that situation. And, and so Alicia was just like, basically, Jesse, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Do whatever you want to do. And so, what's her name? Eva, she ends up telling Baggy Large about the whole situation, about, her breaking up with, Jesse breaking up with, Ivy. Then Ivy meets up with her manager, tells her manager that she broke up with her boyfriend, and she feels bad about it because, she made it public. She told everybody about it, and now she got egg on her face, and she felt like she was played. She felt like she was used or whatever. It was no playing and no using going on. They're both Ivy and Jesse are very dramatic. And so, but Ivy, she lands a deal with a liquor company where she's gonna where she's gonna go out and she's gonna go support this liquor company and basically be the brand ambassador of it, and go to different places. She's gonna go on tour, and she's gonna be making more money than she makes in a year at her job. So basically, she's doing her damn thing, and she's about to be head in charge. She's about to run the shit or whatever. And so then we have, Ivy told her business manager. And so then we have Santos' party. His party's coming up. What's his name? Darnell came through looking good with that white and black jacket. Ivy came through with that black and white dress looking all good. I was like, oh shit, they're flossing. Neil came in there looking like Pimp Daddy with the hat on, looking all clean, sophisticated, flyer than a mother sucker. And, Neil is supporting Santos. And then actually, Ivy tells Darnell that her and JB broke up, and he's like, damn, these guys broke up, shit, like it's really like that. Darnell was like, I got my own issues too as well. So basically they converse on that situation. There's really nothing much they can do about it. But then on the other side of town, we have Jesse. He's having a listening party. Baggy Large, Ivy, and Alicia and Danny comes through, and Danny came through with that lime green dress on, looking like $1,000,000, looking drop dead gorgeous. She had on my favorite color. I was like, Danny, you killing him in that dress. My God. And that dress like complimented her complexion like nobody would believe. I was like, go Danny, you look so good, girl. So we have that situation. But you know, she had to drink. She was getting drunk with Alicia. Alicia was buying the drinks, sharing the drinks or whatever. You know, Danny was there popping him down. Basically they have the conversation about Eva, and you know, Alicia basically tells, you know, Danny everything that Eva said about her to Azia and all that other stuff. And now Danny's mad, she's upset, she wants to fight. She got the liquor in her, and actually Alicia was feeding her the liquor and was smiling. You didn't see Alicia did not want to fight. She didn't want none of that ruckus. She stayed right there by the bar and let Danny do what she had to do. And then Danny tells Alicia, hey listen, I thought you was the bad one, I thought Eva was the goody but I got it twisted. I got it wrong. I don't think Eva's the bad one. I think Eva just misspoke, and I think that Eva didn't understand your style of comedy, and she doesn't know you very well. And plus, Eva is a professional comedian. She's actually a real comedian out here in real life. And I just think that maybe she was trying to give advice. She shouldn't have been telling Azia shit. That's all she shouldn't have did. And maybe Eva should have been watching, you know, Danny's, you know, IG to see what kind of crowd she likes, what kind of crowd likes her and what kind of crowd supports her, because her crowd is much different than the crowd that, you know, Eva has. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, you know, Danny goes outside. She finds but first, you know, Eva talks to JB, basically Jesse, and tells him like, yo, you know, Eva was crying, you know what I mean? I don't think you should let her go, especially on a lie or somebody that's not trustworthy and all this stuff, which is Alicia. And Jesse's totally buying into, he believed. He goes, yeah, I think I misspoke. I think I was over emotional. So basically they're talking about Alicia, and Alicia knew it was going down. So she got Danny free drinks. They shared free drinks. Well, Danny got free drinks because Alicia brought the drinks. And so Danny goes outside and she goes to confront Eva. Eva was like, listen, don't get up in my face. You know, I called you twice. You didn't pick up your phone. And then Danny's wilding out. Danny's like yelling. She was like, you whack bitch. Your comedy's whack. You need to quit. You're not funny at all. You need to quit. She was like, you a nobody. You know, she was just basically throwing all the hurtful words that she could say all up in her face. And Eva was holding back. And then she couldn't hold back no more. Then Baggy Lodge had to grab her and snatch her up. And then, you know, JB had to grab, you know, Danny and snatch her up. And Danny's acting all wild. She took her shoes off. She's about to get barefooted out here in the dirty streets with her feet on that cement in New York, trying to fight or whatever. And you know, Eva's like, Danny, you turning up for the cameras. You turning up for the cameras. No, Danny's just drunk. Danny turns up all the time. Anytime that she feels like, when she gets that alcohol in her and you piss her off or you say something about her, she's over emotional, she's gonna get in your face. She's been doing it all season. She's pissed at you because we heard Danny cry or was whining early. Not whining, but you know, she was just hurt. She was telling her friend that, hey, listen, nobody believes me. Everybody say I can't make it. Nobody likes my comedy. People say I can't do this and I can't do that, but I believe in myself. People have been telling me all my life that I ain't gonna be nothing. And so I think that comment from, you know, Eva really hurt, and she really thought Eva was her friend because she went to go see Eva at her job, basically to get some advice, to get a mentor, and then to see your mentor, to hear your mentor talk, telling that you need to quit comedy and shit like that. It hurts. So we have that situation. It goes ham. I was just like, oh shit. And so Baggy Lodge is basically telling Eva she needs to chill out. She needs to, you know, you got a lot going for yourself. Don't listen to her. Just let Danny act up. See, Baggy Lodge understands Danny. You just pay her no mind. And, but how can you not pay somebody some mind when they in your face yelling and screaming at you? So then they was about to go blow to blow. I'm just like, damn. So anyways, peace them out. One love. Tell me how you feel about the episode and what you think. Who do you think is right? Do you think Danny's right? Do you think Eva's right? Do you think Ivy's right? Do you think Azia's right? Azia didn't really do nothing wrong, but she didn't tell Danny the whole story because she knew it was going to be something. So have your opinions changed about the cast members? Peace. I'm out. One love.